Alright, so trailing edge, and I think I've shown this in a video or two before, but let's go ahead and do it again. So we've cut a panel that will cover the openings that we need to go into. We want to take our time and make sure that we get these lines straight. So what you want to do is brace against the rib. Make sure this line is straight up and down and the corners meet the rib. Come over to the adjacent rib and draw your mark just to the inside edge, so that when you cut it off it fits in between these two ribs. Make a cut. Draw the sandpaper, get a vertical line, and make sure you've got a fit there. We're just a hair undersized, but it's okay. Alright, so we have a good fit. Next thing we need to do is we need to taper the trailing edge underside where it comes down and meets onto the trailing edge of our frame. As you can see, we want to bring this down thin. We don't want it to look like this, and as we sand into that, pretty soon we'll end up with practically no material here at the trailing edge. So if we pre-cut it, let's make sure we're the right way around. Here's our X. We want the underside edge, we want to just taper it. So you're just going to slice and you'll get a feel for this. You want to practice it a couple of times. Get a nice even taper, and then you want to finish flattening it out with your sandpaper. Right? So then what you want to do is double check your fit. Again, we were a little narrow, which isn't optimal. You want a nice kind of a tighter fit than this, but we'll fix that up with a shim. And we see we have a nice fit here. So we're going to wet the balsa wood piece, and we're going to just apply glue about a ½ inch down the side along the surface of the stringer, and again down a ½ inch, about a ½ inch down the rib. And what you want to do here is just locate this. We'll give it a couple little flexes to get this slight radius into our part, so it kind of conforms and follows that rib line. Alright, we want to get this in here nice and tight, not too deep. We want a little bit of it, want it a little bit proud there, and then we're going to come under here and just lay a bead of glue along the underside of this piece. And as we press it down, you want to push a little bit forward on it, pushing this way to cause it to bow just slightly, again to conform to the shape of that rib. And then you're just going to draw a bead right along each of these glue lines, along these ribs. Okay, and that's how you secure that in there. So now when we sand down into our shape, we're not removing as much material here. We've already predetermined how much loss there's going to be, rather than just sanding and sanding and sanding into it until there's literally nothing left. It's thinner than a sheet of paper there, and you're just going to put your hand right through it. So this gives it our strength and gets it to conform to the rib shape, and so on. So we're just going to carry on like that. I just thought I'd show you kind of a detail, step by step, of how that should look on the trailing edge. All right.